So let me ask you guys a question. When a man comes up to you, women, rock stars, my female rock stars out there, when a man comes up to you and says you look expensive, how are you supposed to interpret that? Like, I think men probably mean that as a compliment, meaning that you look nice, but just say you look nice. Like, that to me, I get offended every time somebody says something like that to me. Because first of all, I ain't asked you to do shit for me. Okay, whatever I usually buy, I work really hard to pay for it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just super sensitive today, but I was just like, that is really not a compliment. You look expensive. The shit that I have on, somebody gave me this shirt and I done had these pants. I got on my leather pants. I've had these pants for probably 5 good years, maybe even longer than that. So it's just like, it's not about what. Child, anyway, I'm off topic already. I got to get this top of the blogs done, y'all. Okay, so with all that being said, this is just a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs. So let's get to it. I already tell this light is gonna be an issue, y'all. Let me see if I can hold on, y'all. Hold on. Try to block out this light a little bit. Do that help? Child, that ain't really did nothing. Alright, as the sun moves, it'll go away. Anyway, you guys, I got a lot to talk about, and most of them serious subjects, so I'm feeling kind of silly, so I'm gonna have to get myself together, y'all. Just be patient with me. First subject up, we've got to say a rest in peace to legendary rapper CraigMack. Okay, he passed. The Colton County Coroner's office said that he died in his home by natural causes, which is so strange to me. I mean, it's never natural to die at 46, 47 years old, right? But that's what they're saying so far. Now, those who knew him well, those who were closest to him, said that he had heart disease and that he had been sick for some time. But yes, CraigMack passed unexpectedly and shocked the hip-hop and music industry as a whole. You guys know that CraigMack was the first artist on Bad Boy Records. Okay, of course, we know the song Flavor in Your Ear, which will always be a classic, hip-hop and otherwise. So it was a shock, I'm sure, to Puffy. As a matter of fact, Puffy said, and I quote, "CraigMack, you were the first artist to release music on Bad Boy and gave us our first hit. You always followed your heart and you had an energy that was out of this world. You believed in me and you believed in Bad Boy," unquote. Everybody that you hear talk about CraigMack talks about what a good spirit that he was. Even before he left the music industry, that he had an energy that was always positive, always willing to learn, always wanting to know more, never really negative. But whatever it was that ran him away from the music industry, he definitely decided to leave everything hip-hop alone some years ago, and they say that he was deeply involved in the church, became a very religious man. And I had heard that. As a matter of fact, I remember when the Bad Boy concert, you know, when they were doing the concert with all of the artists from Bad Boy, I had heard that they was really trying to get CraigMack to come, and he was like, no, he's not doing it. He left that world alone. And there are videos and other things that you've heard him say over the years talking about the evils of the music industry. Not quite sure what CraigMack and other people have seen specifically a Bad Boy. Okay, must have been a lot of shit going down there, so much so that you know, he decided to run off. We had the same thing happen with Mace. Okay, not only do they just leave, but they completely get involved in the church. Now we know that Mace is not really the best example, considering Mace is right back where he was. Maybe he's not like right back where he was, but definitely back with Puffy and Bad Boy. CraigMack did not ever waver and never decided to come back to Bad Boy or the music. And that fact seems to be a lot of the reason why so many people admire him, you know, that he was true to himself and what worked best for him and his life. Like I said, he died at 47 years old. I don't believe that CraigMack was married. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't check to see if he was married and had kids. So I'm not sure if he is, but I'm sure that he leaves behind a host of family and friends and many fans all over the world. Rest in peace, CraigMack. Guys, so thousands of school-aged children, including my 11th grader daughter Jada, walked out of their classrooms yesterday in protest of the gun violence and demanding that our government do something about gun control laws and their safety on school campuses. And good for them. 100% behind this walkout. It's so funny. I try to find the silver lining in this day and age, okay, us living in the Trump administration era, and I try to find the positives. And one thing that I can say that this administration has forced many people to want to act, to want to do something. Many things are out of our control, but voicing our opinion and demonstrating and protest has always been something that we are able to do. It gives us a feeling of some sort of control, and I think that the kids today have grasped on to that fact. I've been really concerned about the millennials and not necessarily even the millennials, but just the younger generation. You guys know Jada is 17. She'll be 17 in a couple of weeks. And sometimes these kids, they be stupid and you be like, you just as dumb as the fucking days. That Jada can say some shit and I'll be like, what? Her and her friends, child, the logic. So I'll be worried about the generation, sometimes. But most of the times, though, I really do see that these kids today are very smart. Even when you see these kids on the news and when they're talking about, their feelings and them demanding that something is done, these kids are eloquent. These kids can talk. Sure, some of them are prepped, but many aren't. And many can express themselves very clearly. So I have hope for this generation. With this being the popcorn generation, they want shit now. Okay, they want answers now. I'm not quite sure exactly if their protesting is going to fall on hungry listening ears or if it's falling on deaf ears. I think that more of the latter is what the situation is here. Trump's administration has backed away from gun control laws. Okay, supposedly it was on the table at one moment. I never thought that it was. I just kind of felt like Trump was just feeding you guys bullshit to kind of try to calm the waters. But the NRA has so much power. Congress was never behind any type of gun control laws. I'm not even sure, did they make any differences as far as gun control? They say you couldn't buy an assault rifle unless you were 21. That's definitely just appeasing somebody, okay? Because the fact is the rifle shouldn't be out there for anybody to buy to begin with, all right? Because you don't need it. 21, 18, okay, it's still going to be ways for them to get it. That's really my feeling. Now, some stores did say that they weren't going to sell them anymore, and good for them. But for the most part, the kids getting out and marching and making their voice heard, while it does make our government look like shit, I'm not sure if anything will change at the end of the day. But yeah, it was admirable to see these kids walking out of their classes. It's so funny. My husband had asked me yesterday, was Jada participating in the walkout? And I was just like, no, she ain't said nothing about it. I didn't even know anything about, I knew about the walkout, but I didn't know that the Atlanta schools was participating in this walkout. But evidently they had called and told my husband that if the kids did participate here in Atlanta, that they wouldn't be held, it wouldn't go against them, that they could participate fully. So when he told me that, it's so funny. The school has my husband's number, but they don't have my number. Well, they call me for certain things, but other things they don't. So I don't really know what that's about. But anyway, after he had done asked me that, I was like, let me ask Jada slick ass if her ass did this damn walkout. So I was like, Jada, did you participate in the walkout? And she said, yeah. I was like, what? What you do? Where'd you go? You ain't saying nothing about participating in a walkout. Where you been all day? I was like, this girl done been running free all fucking day. I don't know where my child at. And she was like, Mom, calm down. Nobody left the campus. They had like an assembly and we just went to the gym or out on the field or wherever it was, and they talked about school safety and if anything looks sketchy and gun violence and things like that, but we didn't go nowhere. I was like, oh, okay. Child, you got to keep your good eye on these kids, child. They be especially Jada with this car now. Like, I have to really be on her to just know exactly where she is at all times, because even though Jada's not a bad kid or anything, but still, honey, you get these kids a foot and they'll take a mile. Okay, so yeah, we always got to know where the babies is at. Anyway, so Jada said that they had an assembly. They said that, you know, many schools did have assemblies just so that they could try to control the amount of kids that were just off campus and nobody knew where they were. There were many others, though, that did walk off of campus, leave out, walk down the streets. I think in Washington, D.C., they said that those kids actually left, walked to the White House, sat down in front of the White House gates, and turned their back to the gates. So, like I said, very admirable to see these kids voicing their opinions and really demanding some sort of change. Hopefully, in the long run, this will make some difference. But as of right now, you know, sad to say, I don't really see any change coming as far as Congress, the NRA, your stupid ass president. I don't see no change happening there. But time will tell, and we will see. I think the kids should continue to show their solidarity. Thousands and thousands and thousands of kids are in school every single day. At least they should be safe in their classrooms. And I don't think that's too much to ask of their government either. What do you guys think? Leave your comments about it below. It's another scary story, okay, hoping that this is not a serial bomber, but they're saying that 3 parcel bombs exploded at homes in various locations in Austin, Texas. This has happened over the past 10 days. I did not know anything was going on until this last bomb, I guess, exploded. That was kind of when it hit the news and was a big story. But they said that the bombs have killed 2 people, they've wounded 2 other people, and have frightened a community. When I heard the story originally, I was like, Lord, now we can't even be, you know, I order a lot of stuff online, and that was going to seriously curtail me, you know, ordering shit, because you just can't ever be too safe. I open the mail at my job and I already be leery whenever some shit go down, and, you know, they start talking about powder and, you know, not arsenic. What is it that they was putting in the, what was it they putting in the letters and people was dying? So, you know, I be real leery about that. And now they saying that the packages could be blowing up. I was like, oh no, absolutely not. But turns out that these packages were not being delivered in the regular USPS mail or any other delivery service such as FedEx, UPS, Amazon, things like that. No, actually, these were packages that were delivered to specific homes at night. And when the people got up in the morning and saw the box out there, when they handled the box, then the box blew up. So that kind of makes you feel like there's a calculated effort in where they're placing these bombs. Right now, the FBI is trying to figure out, you know, exactly who was responsible. They're checking, you know, cameras and surveillance and all of that, trying to pin down exactly who is behind this. What they will say, though, is that whoever is behind this are professionals. Okay, they said that it's very difficult to have a bomb in a box, handle it as the person who created it, handle it and it not blow up, and then leave it there for somebody else to handle it, and then it does blow up. Okay, so part of them are saying that possibly it could have been a remote controlled bomb, a remote controlled bomb. And if that is the case, then the person would have needed to have been in the area when the bomb exploded so that they could detonate it. So they're trying to still figure out exactly what is going on. I haven't heard any more stories about any more blowing up since those 3 that we had heard about. But again, I'm sure that it has this community on edge, because you never know. Okay, of course there are rumors going around. Somebody actually left into my comments that it looks like the bombs are being left in communities that have a lot of minorities, a lot of black people, a lot of Mexican people, or Latino people, I should say. But I'm not sure about exactly whereabouts where these bombs have been going out, so I don't know that for a fact. All I do know is they don't know who's doing it. The FBI is on it trying to figure out who is. Okay, so in the meantime, all my rock stars out there in Texas, I'm sure I have some in Austin, I want you guys to be safe. Okay, don't open any boxes if you aren't expecting it. If you see something like that, call the police, child, because it's always better to be safe than sorry. Keep your heads up out there, rock stars. Yeah. I tell you, United Airlines just can't get this shit right. And now, United Airlines have been having a lot of bad press recently. I mean, airlines in general have been having bad press from different shit that has happened. Many of these dramatics have died down, and airlines seem to be getting their footing back. People were starting to not, doubt and have problems with these airlines as much anymore. And then we got this story, okay? So it seems this family, they were flying from, I believe, Houston. I believe it was Houston International, and they were flying to LaGuardia, New York. And they had their puppy in a carrying case with them, okay, little Coquito. It was a mother and her 2 children. When they got on the plane, the flight attendant informed them that they would need to put their dog carrier case in the overhead bin. They said that they told the lady that there was a dog in there and they didn't, want to put it up there. And the flight attendant assured them that the dog would be safe, that they needed to put the damn carrier over the overhead bin and close little Coquito up in that little bin and sit your ass down and fly on this 3-hour flight to LaGuardia, New York. LaGuardia in New York. Somebody gonna be like, LaGuardia is not a city. Shit. Anyway, there was some pushback from the family, but because the flight attendant is supposed to know what she's talking about, they put the dog up there, and even though she assured them that the dog would be fine, well, the dog was not fine. When they got there, little Coquito was dead. And now United Airlines has to deal with yet another bad publicity story about the stupidity of one of their flight attendants by telling these people to put their dog up there. Now, you guys know, I've said it before, I used to work for United Airlines. And I have flown plenty of times with my dog. Okay, I've had my dog on the plane actually with me, and I've had my dog down in the cargo. I've had it both ways. And every single time that I have flown, the airlines have been very specific in letting you know that if your dog is not big enough, small enough to fit in their carrier, and that carrier cannot fit underneath the seat in front of you, then your dog has to go into cargo. It has never been any ifs, ands, or buts about that. I have never, ever, ever been told to put my dog in the overhead bin, nor would I. Now, this family, from what I understand, may have been intimidated by the fact that this woman, being the flight attendant and supposedly knowing what she was saying, was just kind of over talking them and telling them, no, the dog will be fine, because other people that were on the flight also said that they kept saying there's a dog in here. They did not want to put the dog up there, but because this woman had already told them if they didn't put the dog up there, they weren't going to be able to fly, and I'm sure they was trying to get to where they was getting, where they were going, so they did that. I would have not put my dog up there. As a matter of fact, I would have found another flight attendant and been like, do you guys get with your girl? The bitch don't know what she's talking about. Putting my dog up there? Absolutely not. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. This family felt like she was saying what she needed to say, that they had to comply with those rules, and now we got a little dead French bulldog, a family pet. Of course, they're upset. I would be upset as well. But it's too bad that United Airlines has to take the brunt of this. I mean, she was just a stupid flight attendant that did not know what she was talking about. You cannot tell me that these flight attendants have been trained to tell people to put their dogs in the overhead bin. I bet you can talk to any flight attendant, including my rock star flight attendants that's out there, and none of them will tell you ever, is it okay to put a dog in the overhead bin? So again, this time United has to take the brunt of it. And they have said that it's completely their fault, even though their rules clearly say it. This was somebody who obviously missed that day of training. Shit, okay? And I don't want people to feel like, it's not safe for their dog to be flying on these airlines. I mean, there's a story going around that said United Airlines has had 18 deaths of their animals that were flying either cargo or in the cabin. But when you think about they say 190,000, somewhere around that amount of dogs that fly, or animals that fly on these planes, and I think there were 24 in the year, but 18 of them were United. So even though that's high, that's still a very, very small amount, just these animals that are traveling worldwide on these planes. So I don't think anybody really needs to worry about whether or not these standards and rules are in place But yeah, it's just dumb. Okay, and United Airlines, they better get their monies together, because even though little Coquito probably only cost $2,000 or $3,000, which is still a lot of money for a dog. Okay, French bulldogs are expensive. They gonna be paying way more than that for little Coquito's funeral. I feel so bad for this family, these kids that have to see their dog, dead. Just a terrible story. Just United Airlines is y'all gonna have to get these people together now. They are giving y'all a bad name, a bad rap, and it's gonna affect your bottom line if it hasn't already. Get it together, United Airlines, and prayers up for little Coquito and his family. Back in 2006, your boy Orenthal James Simpson, okay, he did this sit-down interview that was also in conjunction with a book that was coming out that was entitled If I Did It, okay, and you just put two and two together and you figure out if he did what. You can kind of probably figure out that he's talking about the murder of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ronald Goldman. Back when he did the interview back in 2006, I could not understand for the life of me why he wanted to do something like that. People were saying at the time that he was broke, that he needed the money, that he was approached about writing this book. And like I said, part of the book deal was also to do this interview. I guess there was some sort of stipulations, it had to be a hypothetical, just kind of him talking about if he decided that he would kill them, this is how it would go down. All right. Of course, back then I was like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, why would you do that? Okay. I guess they were trying to treat it as like a true crime, but in the fictional sense, which doesn't make sense. It's either true or false, right? So it was crazy to me that he did it. The book did come out. However, the interview was scrapped. Back then, that was at a time where I think networks still had some sympathy for victims in general and did not want to make a situation even worse for the families that had to suffer. So they scrapped the interview. But you guys know now in this day and age, I don't give a fuck about nobody. Okay, everything is about sensationalized journalism and who is going to get the view. So all of a sudden, Fox found these lost confessions and they decided to air the interview on Sunday. And again, never will understand why O.J. Simpson felt the need to do something like that. Of course, I'm sure today he, as he's trying to move on with his life, and it's how many years later now? 12 years later from even that interview, his people are saying that he regrets doing that and that he's not the same person then that he is today. But it just made no sense. A part of me feels like, everybody knows that O.J. Simpson is a narcissist, and O.J. has never ever felt like he's been wrong in anything when it comes to Nicole Brown Simpson and his relationship. Even if he didn't kill the girl, we all knew that he was beating her ass. Okay, they had a very volatile relationship that was very much documented. So he's just never really had come to terms with his feelings in his relationship with her. Even in the interview, there were times where he was laughing. There were times when he was very angry. I mean, he admitted that he's still angry with her. So it's just like that part of O.J. Simpson ain't gonna never go away. That's the part that is crazy, that has made many of us now believe that he did indeed kill Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. And so then it starts to feel like that interview was more of a, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to confess to it. Ain't nothing going to happen to me because I've already been tried and, I was found not guilty, so nothing can happen to me. So this is sort of like a little twist of the knife, okay, excuse the pun, to the family, kind of a fuck you, like I'm still going to say what I did and I'm still going to get away with it. Okay, I'm sure that interview pissed that family, both of those families off, and especially Ronald Goldman's father. You guys know that man stays emotional about his son. So I'm sure that interview probably made them mad if they even, watched it. They probably didn't watch it, but I'm sure they've heard about it since. But yeah, just crazy. OJ feels like the Goldmans and the Brown family have ruined his life, even though he killed their loved ones. Okay, that is probably the reason why he did that interview. A lot of people were trying to come to his defense and been like, leave that man alone, he's done his time and all of that. But I can't, this is what he did. This is what he did. He chose to do it. Okay, nobody forced him to do it. It wasn't a, a conversation that was private, that was just recorded and, on the DL. No, he sat there and conducted this interview with somebody. So I can't be mad at the interviewer or even Fox for putting the damn interview out there. The nigga should have never done it. Crazy ass motherfucker out here with all this. Y'all, so I can't feel sorry for OJ Simpson. My best advice to him is that he go and sit his ass down some damn where and try to live the rest of his life and get himself right with God, because honey, it's gonna be sooner rather than later that he goes to meet him. That's the best advice that I can give him. Again, he didn't choose for these comments to come out right now, but they are. Okay, you shouldn't have did it, and you wouldn't have to deal with it. Yeah, you guys tell me what you thought about the interview though. I was just like, crazy. OJ definitely is crazy. Child, this light is getting worse. Let me try to, I'm sorry y'all, I hate when my light don't be right. I can't do no videos like this, so y'all just deal with the with the built-in highlight. Next story. So last Saturday, 29-year-old NickGordon was arrested for domestic violence. Okay, he was called out. The police were called out to his home that he shared with his girlfriend Laura Leal on a domestic disturbance call. When they got there, NickGordon, who actually was the one who called the police and said that the girl was beating up on him, said that he was crying and all whatnot, child. You guys remember him? I don't know what to do without Bobby. I shouldn't make fun. Anyway, supposedly he was crying when he called the police, said the girl was beating up on him. When the police got there, the girl was trying to refuse to cooperate. Okay, but NickGordon said that, she was tripping and all of that. Well, the police, they got a good once over on old Nick, took a good look at Laura Leal, and saw that her lip looked swollen and there was some dried blood on it. That's all they needed. They took NickGordon on down to the house. And of course it hit the news and everybody was like, aha, that's what he did because, he got away with the murder of Bobby Christina. So this is just par for the course. Laura Leal, though, doesn't believe that. As a matter of fact, she has contacted the police and the judge and everybody involved and said, please don't do this. We need to drop the charges because he did not hit me. He did not beat me. I know they said it looked like my lip was swollen, but it wasn't. It was just chapped. And then, the blood was just there from a chapped lip. He didn't hit me. I was hitting him. This is something that I am dealing with. I've been diagnosed bipolar, yada, yada, yada. Okay, listen, she probably was hitting him. He could have probably been hitting her at the same time. Nobody knows. All we do know is that is a relationship that probably does not need to be together. I don't know any person that would be trying to settle down with NickGordon without being worried that the nigga might get froggish one day and decide to do something to me. He was around for Whitney's death, wasn't he? And he was around for Bobby Christina's death, okay? And they both died the same way, honey. You couldn't pay me to take a bath around that nigga. Let me stop. Oh, this is a serious story. So anyway, Laurel's going on and on about how she needs him, that he loves her and that he provides guidance for her, That hurts my heart when I hear women say things like that, okay? When it's a situation wrapped in this kind of thing that's going on, when women say something like that, it makes me feel like, girl, you're being controlled. Like, it was the same with Monique. He's raising me. That's why I call him daddy. Do you know that this man? I was just like, what? You 50 fucking years old and you got a man raising you? Bitch, it ain't never been that much raising in the world. Okay? And you got kids, but you still got to get raised. Yeah, don't make no sense. So, but this girl is much younger. So hopefully this child can get saved, even if it has to be forced on her. Now, the sad part is NickGordon is out now. They gave him a $500 bond, bail, whatever, and he's due back in court on April 6th. So I'm sure he's back with Laura Leal, and, whatever is going on behind those closed doors is continuing to go on. But yeah, it's just a sad situation. That NickGordon, even though he has not been arrested for the death of Bobby Christina, there is still an ongoing investigation. This information from this happenings will also be added to that investigation. But like I said, as of now, nothing has happened to him. Some small little solace would be that I think that NickGordon's life is full of tumultuous times. He seems to be very, very in an unhappy place and space. So maybe that will be his punishment. Some people don't think that's enough, but child, ain't nothing worse than being a captive to your own mind and knowing what you've done. So that could be the space that NickGordon is in. I didn't think at one time that he was responsible, but as time goes on, I start to feel like maybe he, had something to do with it. Like I said, we'll see what happens. Bobby Brown offered to help the girl. The girl don't want his help. And I'm sure we'll hear about the case once it makes it back to court on April 6th. Let's see if I can hang my... Okay, I think I fixed the lighting issue there. Should have thought of that a minute ago. Let me let y'all see my bootleg setup here. I hung my my laptop bag right there. Can y'all see it? Anyway, so what do they call it when you're in a beef with somebody? You got problems with them, and the other somebody don't know anything about it. Okay, yeah, baby, you just mad. That would be this case of why Bow Wow is such an imbecile. Y'all come with me, exhibit number 275. Bow Wow has a new heartfelt song, entitled Drunk Off Ciroc, where he displays all of his emotions. He puts them on the line. There's a segment in the song where he is talking about his crumbled relationship with singer Chris Brown. He said that Chris Brown used to be his little brother. Now it done got so bad that they can be in the same space, in the same place, and they don't even talk to each other. Child, they don't even acknowledge each other. Bow Wow said it's crazy. Excuse me, it's brazy. Chris Brown is a blood. Thank God his last name ain't Crown, child. They had to say Brown all the time. Anyway, it was real deep, y'all. That Bow Wow really felt it. He was Chad at this moment. Okay, Chad had his video. He was looking very nostalgically sad. Okay, his heart was broken that him and his boy Chris Brown's friendship is no more. It was touching. Oh, Bow Wow, woo, woo, woo. Except Chris Brown ain't knew that they had a beef. Yeah, like I said, you just mad, baby. As a matter of fact, Chris Brown, he posted underneath the post that Shade Room put of the video up. I'm confused. Okay, you good, bro? No, I said, no, Chris, he not good. Okay, he confused too. Fuck, maybe he meant Omarion. Shit, somebody, why y'all continue to let Bow Wow be out here with these continuous L's? I said, how you gonna be in the beef with Chris Brown? Don't know what the fuck you talking about. So, then after that, Bow Wow come out, it's never gonna be nothing. It's never gonna be something. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. I said, Bow, Chad. Every time you get out of the spotlight, then here you come with something else. Okay, go sit down. Go get your boy. Okay, what do he need? I know what he didn't need. Right after that happened, that same very night, I believe it is, child. He was at some concert and, he had then got to talking a little reckless, I suppose, about his baby mama. Supposedly his baby mama is dating Future. Okay, everybody dating Future, so that don't really mean nothing. But that's neither here nor there. Now, I guess at some point Bow Wow has said some shit and a Future fan or somebody from his camp, they wasn't too happy about it. So... Bow Wow, he's leaving, the little function. He's walking in the halls in the back behind the stage. And this motherfucker he just appeared out of no fucking where, just came into fruition into Bow Wow's line of fire. And child, when I tell you he bust Bow Wow in the here somewhere, Bow Wow fell down and was like, wait a minute, whoa. I said, child, that Bow Wow ain't never gonna be able to get right. Okay, so then they had the video of that, and I saw it, and I just was like, that next morning, that Bow Wow was like, it didn't go down like that. Okay, I put that on everything. I put that on my daughter. Okay, it didn't go down like that. I don't care what you guys saw, it didn't go down like that. Nigga, what you mean it didn't go down like that? We was looking at the video. Okay? Now, I don't know exactly what happened after that, but I do know that the motherfucker snuffed you, busted you somewhere around here where you fell and you was in the defensive like, wait a minute, whoa. You can't even say the nigga snuck up from him from behind, because I'm telling you, the motherfucker just appeared like poof, like he was a genie or something. I said, where'd he come from? So anyway, that Bow Wow was so incensed, child. He was trying to tell you guys, now we got somebody that was there. There was this old girl, you know, she ain't had too many followers, but she was there and she was giving a play-by-play on everything that was going on. You know, we're gonna try to find her text messages, and we're gonna get Shade Room to put her text messages up, and we're gonna make sure that y'all know exactly what went down, because it didn't go down like that. You know, it didn't go down like that. I put that on everything. I put that on my daughter. I said, Bow Wow, baby. We don't need all that. We don't need all that. Okay. First of all, we don't read shit, so we don't give a fuck. Okay. We saw the video. I'm sure your people jumped in and made sure that you didn't get your ass beat. But yeah, he got the one up on you. It's all right. I said, y'all go do something with Poe Bow Wow every time. Every time you look around, he is in the middle of some full of fucking niggardry. Child, somebody go help Bow Wow. Go help him out. Check out and make sure you're okay. So Danny Vasquez, he's a baseball player who played in the minor leagues for the system of the Houston Astros. I believe a lot of stories about Houston today. He played for the Corpus Christi Hooks specifically, which is a minor league team for the Astros. Anyway, back in 2016, he was caught on surveillance camera at the stadium that they played at, beating his girlfriend's ass, okay? Walking down the stairwell, hitting her, backhanding her, damn near knocked her down the stairs a few times. And once the Corpus Christi Hooks and the Houston Astros found out about that video, they dropped him. So this happened back in 2016. However, the video has just now been made public, and we are all seeing the monster. I don't know what other way to describe who he is other than the monster that he is, beating this girl's ass in the stairwell. You know, it's not many times that we see a man actually beating a woman's ass. Okay, these things are usually done behind closed doors, and you hear the stories, and we even see the bruises afterwards. But it's nothing like physically seeing a video of somebody just so brutally. I mean, he was with all his might. I mean, arms up like this and like this. I mean, and knocking that girl around. The sad part about it is there was a point in the video where he remembers something. He had to go do something, and he leaves her. He goes back up the stairs and he walks out the door, and she's in the stairwell by herself. Now, it seems like, you know, we would, you know, normally that would tell us to run, get the hell up out of there before he come and finish the job. But she stayed there. She waited. That lets you know that this is something that happens all the time, or this is a situation that she's afraid of him, or a combination of both of them. Okay, but for whatever reason, she sat there, she waited, he came back, and he continued to beat her ass. Just a sad situation all around. I pray that my children would never have to go through something like this. I just can never understand when a relationship has to resort to something like this. So the video has been made public. They're saying that he made a plea deal, so he did not go to jail for that. Who knows what is going on with him and the girl that was in that video. They're probably still together, but I would hope that they weren't. Okay, hopefully now that has been made public, maybe that will be the eye opener that she needs before he kills her. So sad though, just heartbreaking to physically see somebody getting their ass beat like that, who was very much in the minority, who has no defenses, anything like that. It just is just heartbreaking. No major team will touch him now, so that is a little small bit of solace for him, you know, something that he probably was born to do. They say that he was a major league hopeful. Now he can't recognize that dream anymore, so maybe that is some sort of solace, but still just terrible. Have you guys seen that video? It was just horrible to watch. For you guys, and then in quickies, congratulations are in order for Cam Newton and his girlfriend Kia Proctor. That is right, they are infanticipating, even though we know that they have 2 other babies. Okay, and I do mean babies. They have stair-step babies. The oldest one probably ain't in diapers no more, but that baby is still in diapers, and here they come with another one. So these are definite stair steps. I'm not mad. Okay, I'm not mad. I'm just wondering, is motherfuckers gonna get married or something? Child, we don't do that no more. oh, y'all say that he's already married. Look, I haven't heard the story that he's married, but it's going around the rumor mill that he already is married. That's why he hasn't married Kia Proctor. If he is married, which I don't believe the story, but if he is married, they are definitely separated. And if he's still legally married, then that's just because they haven't taken the time to divorce. But he's never publicly claimed whoever this other person is. Kia has been around for a long time. This is the girl that used to be the stripper that he made an sort of honest woman, because like I said, they're not married, okay? But so I don't really know. I shouldn't say you not honest if you not married, because I know somebody gonna be down there, Roxanne, just because you married and because a lot of women don't want to get married. That's perfectly fine. I'm sure there's plenty single honest women out there. Clarify for y'all. Damn, Kia having another baby. Okay, fuck, I guess you ain't gotta get married when you done locked down 18 times 3 on that child support, right? You can go out there and act all the fool you want to, Cam. But just know that we got it on lock over around through here. Cam don't seem to be worried about it. Kia seems to be happy. They seem to be happy in their relationship. They stay out of the public eye for the most part. So, I mean, if they like it, I love it. Okay, I just was wondering if anybody was gonna get married. We're not gonna get married. Got to get a divorce first, then get married. Oh, okay. Jhené Aiko and Big Sean. Are they no more, you guys? So it was rumored the other day that Big Sean was at some function, some event, and that he was spotted canoodling with Nicole Scherzinger of the Pussycat Dolls. Okay? I was just like, isn't Nicole supposed to be with the race car driver? Child, I can't keep up with these relationships no more. But anyway, they say that Big Sean was seen kissing on her or whatnots, and that Jhené Aiko found out about it, of course, and she decided to break up with Big Sean. They say that they stopped following each other on social media, took all their pictures down of each other, and yeah, the union that is 2088. I was just like, what's gonna happen now? Love that album, okay? But now they say that the two had been broke up. I said, child, what is we doing with this tattoo that she got, all extra detailed and colored? And I said, I thought about it real hard, you guys, and I said, well, maybe we can add some big teeth to it, and then we can say it's Chris Rock, and she can go shoot a shot with him like he's single. Y'all look at that tattoo long enough, it do look like Chris Rock a little bit. I was just trying to help. Ike. Oh, everybody want to help Ike. I was just trying to look out for my girl Jhené, but Jhené said no. Y'all got it wrong. Y'all got the story all wrong. Okay, but I still love y'all though. So she told us that, what we were saying was incorrect. Big Sean came out and said that, he had problems with everybody jumping on this story without trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, his homeboys and his homegirls was talking greasy about him. Okay, so fuck what y'all say. I said, well, still ain't nobody said if y'all together or not. All right, I'm still concerned about this album. Shit. You can tell us that we wrong with the breakup stories, but did you indeed break up or not? I hope not. I thought them two was a cute couple. But something about Jhené. She's this cutest thing, child. But something not stable for me. So, and Big Sean, he like what he like. I could definitely see him liking somebody like Nicole Scherzinger. I mean, just kind of looking at the history of the girls that he's been with. The story ain't that strange to me. But look, if they say they still together, then I'm going to say they still together. And speaking of breakups, they say that Amber Rose and 21 Savage done broke up. I said, child, no. Okay, he done sat out there at that slut walk with these signs being emasculated. She done gave us the full story about sniffing his drawers and, loving. I just was like, that's why sometimes you just don't need to say nothing. Just be in your relationship and just be happy in your relationship. So when shit get fucked up sometimes, people ain't looking at you through I was about to say through a stethoscope. You can't look through a stethoscope. But they ain't got to be pinpointing on whatever is going on with your relationship. But anyway, people noticed that they both had stopped following each other and had removed all their pictures from social media. Remember, that is the telltale sign these days. Amber Rose came out and said, oh no, we not broke up. I did unfollow like 100 or 1,000 people, something like that, she said. But 21 Savage was an accident. I didn't mean to unfollow him, but I'm following him now. So y'all can check. In the meantime, 21 Savage ain't followed her back, they say. Okay, so Not really sure what is going on here. Even with Amber Rose and all of her spectacularness, I like Amber Rose, and you know, I can tell that the girl just wants to be in love with somebody, and she just loved 21 Savage to death. I wasn't sure if he was ready to be in such a, you know, even though he was really caping for her at one point, you know, he's a rapper, he's out there, he's young, he's much younger than she is, like, you know, kind of like trying to wife and husband niggas down at that age and stage in their life is not always the best. Okay, so I wasn't sure if that relationship was going to last, but as of now, like I said, they say they still together. At least Amber say that they are. So if that's what she say, we gonna roll with that. But what y'all think? We still gonna send up a get well soon for Wendy Williams. Okay, get well real soon, considering Jerry O'Connell, is that his name? Yeah, Jerry O'Connell. Child, he done lived his whole life to get to this moment. I was like, he is up there and he is doing his absolute most and best. I was just like, oh, who would have ever thought? This is the husband from Steel Magnolias. You would have never thought that he'd have been up there. He was in Steel Magnolias, right? Am I getting him mixed up with somebody else? He been living it up on there. Some people really can't stand it. Kind of feels like it's over the top, and him even being stereotypical to, you know, black women, gay people, you know, the flamboyant types and all of that. I don't watch Wendy Williams, but I have seen the clips on Instagram, and it's a whole lot. I'm not quite sure what people is feeling, so y'all tell me what you think about him being there. But anyway, Wendy Williams had made it a point, even though she hasn't said this, I mean, I think most people know that she was not going to put no woman in there, definitely wasn't going to put a black woman in that spot to possibly do better than her, and make people think like, damn, Wendy, maybe we don't need you. So she put this white straight man in the spot, hoping that maybe he would just be, you know, cool, and here he come with the histrionics. So I was just like, Wendy, you better get back soon, okay? They say she put another 2 weeks, you know, on her leave, which makes me feel like, yeah, Wendy, there's some serious health issues and probably other shit that's going on in her life that she needs to handle. So I want her to get well soon, not only because I need her health to be back right, but baby, I need you to secure the bag, baby. Get that spot right. Let this man come in there and steal it. Congrats are in order to Black Panther, the movie. They've already crossed the $1 billion mark, which I knew that they would. This is worldwide. That movie has stayed in the #1 spot since it's come out. And congratulations to Ryan Coogler and everybody else involved. I'm hoping that, you know, those major stars that was in that movie is getting money off the back end, because if you is getting pizzade. I'm sure these lawyers now will put that in their contract. So congratulations to all of them. And lastly, you guys, the On the Run 2 tour is amongst us. They have the pre-sale tickets go out, I think, on sale yesterday, and it's always a big story about how expensive they are. All I got to say about this is, look, you buy what you can fucking afford, okay? If you want to go and you can afford the seats that's down on the floor for thousands of dollars, then you get that. If you can't afford that, then get your ass up there in the rafters, okay, and spend whatever you can. But going back and forth over whether or not somebody should spend this kind of money, fuck, you do what you want to do with your damn money. People might think it's ridiculous to pay $2,000 for a purse. I don't see a problem with it. So you do what you want to do. If you want to see J and B in concert, On the Run, okay? I did all that. Y'all saw me? Quit slamming people for doing what they want to do with their own damn money. Alright, you guys, and that's it. Let me get my sushi and take it on back to work. We do this every single week, y'all. So make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.